Okay, we got Eduardo, him in Brazil, and he says a group of people were reincarnated on Earth in ancient times to help the growth and development of the planet and establish the old religions. And he wants to discuss that proposition.
Yes.
How you doing, Eduardo?
I'm fine. I'm got a little cold, but pretty all right.
I mean, so how did you come up with this idea?
No, it's I didn't come up with that. It's I'm a spiritist. Basically, it's we believe it's not even it's kind of even hard to classify because it's a religion, but it's a religion without dogmas. It's a religion that more it establishes that God creates and creates spirits, and we start small, and then we evolve and we reincarnate, and basically what happens with the earth is this: Jesus is actually not actually according to our believers, okay? Because I know how polemic it is. Jesus is not actually God. He's actually kind of a governor of the solar system, a spiritual governor, if you will. And when he establishes the earth, he needed some people to take it from the primitive stages to another stage that we are, that's still evil, is still around, but it's still prevalent, but not as primitive as before. So what he did was he reincarnated some people that were in a more advanced civilization. That he put them here to found the religions, the major religions, but they're not supposed to form religions. They're supposed to bring enlightenment. But if they are people like us, you know, when they reincarnate, they have the veil of forgetfulness. They know what they should do by intention, but they grow up. We grow up. We all are reincarnated, so we grow up and as if we were new, let's say, and they remember that. But there were lots of distortions and lots of pride. That, for example, the caste system in India was pride. It wasn't mandated by Christ. Was pride, and the Hebrews were fixated on the law. That's actually why he himself came to them. It was they were the closest to the truth, but they were too caught up on their laws and very little and pay very little attention to the spiritual.
Okay, that's a lot to start out with. Let's stop there. We'll examine what we've already learned here. Eric, did you have something you wanted to say?
You were quiet there, and I was. If I have, sorry.
I was asking Eric if he wanted to respond to what you said so far.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, these are just claims being thrown out into the ether. I won't speak for Kelley, but for me, you have to produce something that I can see or test or look up. So I mean, we heard so many claims there, and what I would want to just know is, where do you get this information from, or why should a person like me believe it?
Well, the information is a little easier. Mostly, it is in a book called "The Way to the Light" by Emmanuel, which is a spirit channeled by Chico Xavier, who's Brazilian. But there is a version in English, but the tenets of the how reincarnation works and what's the real revelation of how things are, the explanation of the religions and all. They are in the 5 books by Allan Kardec. They are actually has 7, but they're in those 5. It's called Genesis, Heaven and Hell,
What?
The Book of Spirits, the Book of Mediums, and the Gospel according to Spiritism. Oh, sorry.
I think what you're being asked though is how do we know that like these books here? How do we know these are true?
Oh, I'm going to that. I'm going to that now because I thought he asked where to look up, and then why do a guy like you should a guy like you believe? Well, that's a little more complicated because in my case, it's a long story, but there were so many coincidences that took me to that place, including
right.
You know, some
okay. But what can you show us?
The problem is
what can you show us?
I could say and it is true, but I can't prove to. No, I don't know. For example, I was with my father there in the center. That's what they call. And my father wasn't there, and they communicate with the dad to see how sick we are, and the person knew lots of things that he didn't even tell my mother, and that's my father. But I know that's kind of hard for you because
how do you if he never told anybody, how do you know that they were true?
Oh, because he told me that afterwards. Afterwards, he was like, "What was that?"
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, but if he told you afterwards, I don't. Do you see what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? If somebody told you a thing,
I know what you're saying,
right? And then said that this was true, but even though he never told anybody this, and then they told you afterwards, yeah, all that stuff I told you was true. What makes you believe that was true without any?
No. Sorry. I think there was a miscommunication here. So we do consults, and by the way, before that's very important. Those healing sessions, they are more to ease our mind and things like that. They always tell you to go to the doctor. There's no, I mean, you don't have to pay. There's no promise of a cure or anything like that. So, but when we are talking to the mediums to see if there are spirits that are disturbing us, and we don't know. So the lady told my father that story, his story, and when he came out, he was like, she knows the truth, and I don't know how she knows that because I never told anybody, absolutely anybody. And he told that, he said that she told in details, even the same words. But that's one example. And I know it's hard for you guys because it's experiences that may or may not be replicated because it depends on other people, and that people are, say people as us, they can want to do that and they cannot want to do that.
Eduardo, I've got a lot of questions. I mean, you keep talking, and I've got a lot of questions for you, and it doesn't seem like you're like you're understanding our questions or answering them. But it's like, how do you know that what you're telling us now is true? What is it that actually, like if you had to give me some unambiguous empirical evidence to show what you're saying is true, what is it that you would show me?
Yes, I would show you that they talk about, for example, infamously, Venus. They discovered that Venus has a dark side after the 50s, if I'm not mistaken, early 50s. and had a light side because they thought they had
But Ted, yeah, you're not giving me evidence though. You're just saying there's a light side and a dark side. You're just making another claim.
No. That's sort of the evidence. Sorry, but that's the evidence because.
Well, let's get to the evidence. Let's stop making more claims and let's get right to the evidence for the claims you've already made before we make more.
No, that one is verifiable because it's scientific. So, but what I need to say is that there are things in there that were discovered by science afterwards. Not like the Bible, they have to feed everything.
But what was discovered? Kind of, be very specific. What was discovered?
Mostly, what I remember is mostly about. For example, that's why I started talking about Venus. They knew before it was known, I mean, by science, that Venus doesn't have a permanent dark side, which people thought it did.
No, I don't. Nobody has ever scientifically proven that people have a dark side. This is what I'm trying to understand. Where you're coming from
people,
with this.
Venus, the planet.
He said Venus.
The planet.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Eduardo. Yeah. I found that book. It was published. The first edition was published in 2021. We've known for far longer than that Venus does not have a perpetual dark side.
No, which the light is 1935. Maybe the edition that you found is 2021. No, it's 1935.
I mean,
sure of that.
I'll take your word for it, but you know, the other thing about this claim, I don't know when we figured out the nature of Venus's sidereal day, but I would bet a good chunk of money we knew it before 1975. But that claim that you're making is
I'm sorry, but it's 1935 free.
35. Okay. The sound doesn't come through the phone all that well every time. But anyways, this claim that you're making is very unspecial because this is a true dichotomy. Venus either does have perpetual darkness on one side or it does not. So it's 50-50, and you don't get supernatural claims. You don't get credit for them when you're right on things where it was a one or the other type of thing. That is not extraordinary evidence, and supernaturalism is a very extraordinary claim.
Yeah, but let me say something about supernatural. Actually, we believe that there's no supernatural. There are only things that we have no idea how they happened. But yeah, there's no supernatural. Everything I tell you here, everything that of the revelation, and things like that, miracles, and there are no miracles. They are things that happen.
No, reincarnation is not a. That is a very supernatural type of claim. And
yes, it is.
Reincarnation was something you brought up earlier. You said that Jesus has some sort of dominion or power or control or influence over our local neighborhood in the universe or galaxy or solar system. I'm not sure how far his sphere of influence went out. I'm not sure anybody's listening on those other planets either. But that's there isn't that doesn't sound like a naturalistic type of claim.
Oh, well, but I don't know. I mean, I know that I kind of know what you're going to say, but I never went wrong after starting to follow those. But you know, it's a very complicated because we either enter the science very deeply, or you have a personal experience.
It doesn't seem
I
that
know
complicated
that we
to
are
me.
not
Either
pushing that
reincarnation happens or it doesn't
Mhm.
happen, and we don't have any proof that it happens. It doesn't seem that complicated.
Yeah, and the idea that you reading these stories, testimonies, whatever they are, that coinciding with your life turning to a better direction is not proof that these other claims that have nothing to do with you are true. I don't know if you talk to believers of other religions or whatever all that often. We do it quite a lot, but maybe you're aware of this, maybe you're not. You're the millionth person to tell me this kind of thing. How do you know that Christianity is true? Because when I turned to Christ, my life turned around. That doesn't multiply that doesn't make it more likely that Jesus actually did resurrect, as an example. So
Yeah, yeah, you're right. I'm saying this, and I mean I have considered that a lot, because and here's the thing. Here's the irony here. One of the tenets of this religion is actually to doubt. Uh, we believe that faith comes through doubt. So, okay, so they say that reincarnation happens, and if it's proven that it doesn't happen, which I doubt, but if it's proven, we abandon that.
But that's
the
not
problem
the way
is-
to
Yeah.
the way to determine if what something is true or not. You don't try to disbelieve it or disprove it,
No,
right? You try to prove the
No, but,
thing. You don't wait
no,
for
it-
somebody to
it-
say, because you don't disprove a thing, right? You prove that something is there. You don't disprove something is not there.
no, it,
So
yeah,
when you say
yeah, but
you're
that's
waiting for
right,
somebody to disprove reincarnation, that's not the way to go about it. What you need to do is have somebody prove that reincarnation is real before you start to believe in it. You don't start to believe in it and wait for somebody to disprove it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I was giving it. Yeah, no, I was giving it. I understand, but I was giving it as an example. I mean, it's not. We have reason to believe that it happens because,
What reason do you have to
for
believe it?
example, well, it's for example, this is people sometimes are born with abilities. For example, my case, I'm musically gifted, and you do have this even before I knew about that. I was
Wait, Eduardo, stop. You're going off on some other tangent. You're going off on something else. What proof do you have that reincarnation is real?
he was trying to say some people's intrinsic skills are evidence that they are a reincarnation of a person in a past life.
Yeah, but I don't accept that. That's
I agree, it's terrible, but that he was giving you an answer.
It's not that's not proof though. That's what I'm saying.
No, it's evidence, but not proof.
Yeah, evidence. Yeah, I don't care about evidence. I only care about proof. Because you can have really bad evidence. So I would rather just throw out evidence completely and just worry about proof.
Can I ask you a question about that? I mean, I'll be careful, because I don't know. It might sound disrespectful, but it's really not. Coming from a place of curiosity. Do you have moments in life like that you are like, I don't know, not think that you're not living your life to the fullest? Because I don't know, man. I mean, I try to not. I try to be ready for my beliefs to be, my paradigm to shift. but I don't know if I could live like this. I mean, waiting for an evidence so evident, for lack of a better word, that I could believe. How do you deal with that?
First off, I don't think that my beliefs have anything to do with my living my life to its fullest. That has to do with my actions and what I decide to do with my own life, right? It has nothing to do with my religious beliefs or my political beliefs. It's something completely separate from that. So that's probably one thing where we differ, right? Does that make sense to you? Like, I don't
separate. Like, I'm not. I really want to know. Are you the teacher? Well, you just said that you are a teacher.
This has nothing to do with whether or not anything is true.
No.
We're not interested, Eduardo. We're not interested.
I was just curious about.
Eric was a teacher. I wasn't.
Yeah.
But I don't understand what that has to do with the question. And again, I'm still asking, like you said, you had reasons to believe this, that reasons to believe in reincarnation. And I'm still asking you, what are those reasons? Because you still haven't given us those reasons.
Yeah, so like I said, innate talents, it said is a bad evidence, but that is one of my answers. Other answers are when you meet some. I had experience of meeting people that I never knew in my life and seem to know for all my life.
That's a common occurrence. It's called deja vu. It happens to everybody. That's not proof of reincarnation.
Like I said, there's no proof. If there was a proof, if I had a proof, I would have Nobel Prize. But that's evidence.
But wait, no, it's not. Evidence. Evidence doesn't prove something, right? Evidence is just something that's submitted that may prove something, but then you have an evidentiary hearing to decide whether that evidence actually does prove it, right? So you shouldn't believe something until you have put that evidence through its process to decide whether or not it is actually good evidence and actually proves what you're trying to get to. That's why I'm not interested in evidence. I want proof.
Eduardo, I think we can figure out how this reincarnation thing is kind of untenable. I don't think it would even be all that hard. Do you think everybody who's ever been born is a reincarnation?
These days, yes.
The answer is yes. Okay, but you know that there are more people alive today than there were in the past, right?
But the creation is it keeps going. Yes, there are more people, but it's not. We don't really. According to my belief, we don't reincarnate only once. We reincarnate a bunch of times to learn, because our objective is improve morally and intellectually.
Okay, Eduardo, let's say there are only 100 people on the planet, and those 100 people, by having children, they on average have more than one child. That means the next generation has more people in it than the first generation. There aren't enough souls to reincarnate into the next generation.
No, yeah, but they are not all coming from this planet.
So they come from, okay, now you've just thrown out a wild claim. There are beings from other planets that have reincarnated into beings on this planet. So give me any reason to believe that beings on some other planet exist.
Well, the seemingly advanced technology that are in old texts, old religious texts, which we think that
ancient aliens
sure
kind of
that,
stuff.
For example, but the Egyptians, what? Sorry.
So ancient aliens type arguments.
Sorry, go on. Yeah, but except that it's not aliens as they portray. It's not it's not the flying saucer and the.
Okay, what are these aliens like?
Right. They're human. They're just because spirits are also they evolve by reincarnated, different from biology. Because biology, you need to, it evolves by generation, right? They have I don't know, a dog have a puppy and one color and the other, and then I had it. All right, a wolf became a dog throughout many generations. But the spirit, it evolves from mineral to hominal, which is after animal. And by the way, I know we are animals physically. Yeah, I mean it's
this is just a revolving door of escalatingly silly claims. I don't.
Yes.
We can't be productive with this because
like
reincarnation leads to aliens, leads to, I don't even know what the last thing was. I'll be honest.
It's like you're taking a wild claim and we're asking you for proof, and the proof you're giving us is an even wilder claim.
Yeah.
And that's just not how truth works.
That's evident. Yeah, but that's just that's evidence. But I know, but
no, it's not evidence. It is not evidence. You have not given us any good evidence whatsoever yet. You've submitted a bunch of things that you believe are evidence, but none of them have that I can see would pass the test of being actual proof of supporting your claim. I haven't seen anything, any of your evidence has not supported any of your claims. And that's the problem.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just like when you said you had reasons to believe in reincarnation, and I ask you what the reasons are, and you tell us aliens. That's not getting us anywhere. That's just getting us farther and farther away from truth.
Yeah, it was. Sorry, but the aliens was because you asked since the population increased.
But we don't even know that aliens exist. You're coming up with another fantastic claim. Do you understand that?
I understand that, but that's like I call because
but that's not good rational thinking.
I thought what I think is true, and we are trying to examine the evidence. You think the evidence is bad, and that's fine. I mean, I think that, at least in my opinion, the importance of the conversation is there are lots of people who are going to be saying that I'm stupid, that my epistemology is not good. Others are going to be
yeah, I don't think you're stupid. I just don't think your evidence is good, Eduardo. That's it. I just don't think your evidence is that good.
I know,
and I have other callers. Eduardo, listen to me. Stop talking over me. I have other callers that we need to get to. So I do encourage you to call back again, and maybe we can get somewhere in the future, but I don't think this call is going anywhere right now, and I do want to get to the other people before we run out of time. So thank you for calling very much. I appreciate it, and I hope you do call back.